Okay, now we're gonna learn pieces and the power of pieces. First of all, the king and king don't have any value. That doesn't mean king is not important. We cannot judge a value of a king since the king is the only important piece that should be there till checkmate. Next thing is queen. Queen is the second biggest piece in a chess game, and when a queen is of 9 points, so these points are not usually equal when we compare, but it will be most useful for the beginners who used to trade and exchange of pieces. Although these points will be equal to compare, but time to time and position to position, the points of and the value of these pieces will change depending upon the position. So queen is of 9 points. Okay, after queen, rook is the next big piece, and our rook is of 5 points. And in some positions we often see a queen is equal to 2 rooks, but if the rooks is having a good coordination, then we cannot see and judge 2 rooks will not equal to a queen. So rooks is of 5 points. Next is bishop. Bishops are of 3 points. So next thing is knight. A knight is also equal to a bishop, which is equal to 3 points. Next is pawns, and pawn is of 1 point. So there will be 8 pawns, and materially wise 8 pawns will be equal to 8 points. So let us try to compare some of the pieces, then you will have a good idea. Okay, for now we'll see white is having a queen and black is having a bishop and a rook. Now let's see this position. White is having a rook and black is having white is having a queen and black is having a rook and a bishop. For example, if you trade this rook and bishop for a queen, now tell me who is advantage? Queen. When you don't know how to judge this position, then just calculate the points which I taught you. Queen is of 9 points, rook is of 5 and bishop is of 3. 3 plus 5 is 8 and queen is 9. So you will be down with 1 point. So material wise white is losing 1 point. So this will be helpful for the beginners who just started chess. You will have a great exchange of pieces, then you will know who is having a good game and who is better in material wise. Still we can't say, although we can't say this material wise will always be equal, most of the positions it depends only on the position. Next thing is, what is a notation? While starting a game, both players should arrange the pieces and play a game. Then what is a notation and why we write this notation? Notation is just a useful guide where you can see what the game is playing, and even in many other things they are very much helpful, like in tournament notation is helpful to see the game and to see the result, who is playing and what is playing. Notation is nothing but a movement of the piece to a particular square, and that piece will be mentioned with its own name. In this position, king is K, queen is Q, bishops are B, and rooks are R, and knight is N. Pawn really don't have any notation. So what happens if a pawn move to any square? If a pawn move to a particular square E4, then how we will write? In chess notation, we will write this as E4. The pawn don't have any notation, so we'll just write the square name as it. If the square name is mentioned, then that is a pawn movement. So for example, I will show you how to mention the squares. For example, E4, E5, and this is what is called knight, and this is called F3 square, F and 3. So this is called knight F3 and knight C6. This is called bishop, and where it moved to C4. So this is called bishop C4 and knight F5, F6. And in chess we have already learned this is what is called castling. This is what is called castling. And in chess notation we will write castling as 0-0 and black, and castling on the queen side will be written as 0-0-0. While capturing a piece or a pawn, we'll just write the square name which the piece has going to move. So this is a way and a simple guide on how to write a notation in a particular game. So we have learned all the arrangement of board, pieces, movements of pieces, pawn, what is a rank, file, diagonal, and we have learned the square names, pieces and their names, capturing and how to capture, what is a pawns and how the pawn moves, check and what is a checkmate, what is a notation. We already learned promotion, pass and what is an end pass and castling and rules of castling, powers of pieces. And the last thing we are gonna learn is what is a game and how we'll write a game in a chess, and what is the result and the drawing ways of a particular game. So if in a particular position, if white wins a game, we will write in chess notation as 1 and 0, where 1 is white and 0 is black. If black wants, and we will write 0-1. So in a particular game there are some ways to draw a game. What is a draw and how does it happens? Draw is nothing but sharing a particular point to both the players. Both the players can split a point and take half of point in a particular tournament or a round. So draw is, we can do a draw in a particular chess game in a 7 ways. In chess notation we will write draw as half, and there are 7 different ways that a particular game can be drawn. First thing is, two mutual players can agree for a draw. If you and your opponent doesn't really want to play any particular position, you both can mutually agree for a draw. Second thing is draw by 50 moves rule. What does that mean? So in this position, white can checkmate black king pretty easily, but what happens if he cannot checkmate after a few moves? If white cannot checkmate black king in 50 moves in this position, then black have a chance to claim a draw, and that draw is called a 50 moves draw. Black should write the notation. The notation will be right such that he have to play 50 black moves and he can then claim a draw. In 50 moves draw, there should not be any piece capture or any pawn movement. For example, if white has a pawn on a2 and after white playing 49 moves, if he moves a pawn on a2 or to a3 or a4, then the time of 49 moves comes to reset and he still have another 50 moves. So basically in 50 moves draw there should not be any pawn. And the next thing is, in other condition, now if black plays any 49 moves, white plays a 49 moves and black gave his rook on the 49th move, then then again the time sets to 50 moves. So if you capture any piece, then you will have again 50 moves. So in 50 moves rule, there should not be any piece capture or a pawn movement. Next thing is draw by 3-4 repetition. This is very easy. If you repeat the position for 3 times, for example, white played queen f3 and black played king e5, white played queen e3, king f5, queen f3. This position has came for the first time and now for the second time and again the third time. This type of repetition moves is called 3-4 repetition, and this is a draw. Next draw is draw by perpetual check. Perpetual draw is a situation where white or black, if he is losing, he can do this perpetual check. For example, if white is in this position, white is so much in material down, but still this position will become draw. Why? Because black king doesn't have a square to escape from white king's check. So this is just called a perpetual check, and if white leaves the check, black will simply gain with this heavy material advantage. So perpetual check is one of the kind of draw. Next thing is draw by insufficient material. If both players don't have a sufficient material to win a game, then that position is called a draw. See, for example, white is having a single knight and there is no way that single knight can give a checkmate to a black king. So this is called a draw by insufficient material. And next one is draw by stalemate. Stalemate is a situation where now black have to play, black king is not under check and black king don't have any other move, or any of the black pieces doesn't have any move. Then this type of situation is called stalemate. Stalemate means king should not be under check and none of the black pieces should have any legal move to play, and black have to play, then that is called stalemate, which is a draw. And the last one is draw by photographic position. Photographic position, most of the players doesn't know what is the difference between a photographic position and draw by repetition or even draw by perpetual. Photographic position is like a photo, an image of photo that is repeated 3 times in a particular game. For example, black king is on g7, white queen is on f4 and g4. Now white played queen g5, king f7, queen d5, king g7, queen f5, king to f7, queen f4 and king g7. Now this is a position which is repeated for the second time in the board. The moves are not repeated but the position is just repeating. Next is queen f5 and queen h5, queen here, and now the position is repeated for the third time, where the position is just repeated, not the moves. Then this is called photographic draw position. Now I hope you all know the all basic rules of chess. I hope you enjoy this game. See you in the next class.